Welcome, everybody. This is D. Durrell with D. Durrell the Rebirth, broadcasting right now from D. Durrell the Rebirth and also from my D. Durrell Life Solutions channel. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming in today. Today is going to be a very interesting show today. This was one that I ran across as far as some content that I was very shocking to hear about, but also one that I can relate to. I don't do a lot of reviews, but that is kind of where I'm thinking about going as far as my content, upcoming content, particularly as I talk about relationships, particularly as I talk about mental health, particularly as I talk about things going on in Black YouTube, especially the Black manosphere. Today, I am going to focus on, as the title talked about, Cojamalik, aka SC Johnson, versus the lead attorney. So many of you are saying, D. Durrell, why are we talking about the lead attorney? You don't usually do content on him. And who the hell is Cojamalik, I'm sorry. Well, Cojamalik is a very controversial person who has been on my channel multiple times, who has been on some of my friends on YouTube and throughout particularly the women's sector, Black women's sector. Also, she parades around as SC Johnson in the pro-Black Umar sector, which we call the sector. So she has a lot of things, and one of the things that is an epitome of her behavior is that she has this propensity to argue with people who are actually experts, who are actually professionals in their fields, and who are knowledgeable. She has a perspective in which no matter what you say, she likes to be a contrarian and say the opposite or attempt to prove you wrong. I think she gets a rise off of that. Well, today she ran into a buzzsaw, and I'm going to basically expose the issues of her doing this because I am one who also had to put her in a place and prove her wrong for some of the things that she thinks she knows and she doesn't really know. So, what we're going to do is I want to give a shout out to the Pink Book Lessons. She is a YouTuber that kind of talks about things that are going on within the Black community, and particularly in holding Black women accountable for their behaviors. Now, I watch content from both sides. I watch men attempt to do this. I also see women trying to hold men accountable, and then vice versa. In YouTube, talking about relationships is pretty much a golden egg. It's pretty much a way to make money. In my perspective, the Pink Book Lessons is very balanced. She's not disrespectful, straight to the point, has pretty good content, and so forth. And so, as I was watching her, and I just started watching her actually 2 weeks ago, I could not believe that she actually did content, particularly on two people that I watch and I interacted with, but particularly Cojamalik. Now, I want you all to pay attention closely to what is said, because I'm not going to talk about everything in its entirety. I'm going to skip some things, but I am going to give a response to what is said.
Thank you. Don't be getting all emotional. Don't be getting emotional.
Listen, no. That I will absolutely get emotional when the government. No. You listen. When the government is not giving Black men the protection that they need, I will absolutely get emotional.
That's the lead attorney.
Now I want to stop there because she's talking about things, but I want to make sure the lady that you hear speaking, that is Cojamalik, the lead attorney, was was getting upset because he's like, when it comes to Black men who have gotten the short end of the stick on a lot of different things, particularly with the law, particularly with economics, socially, our image. The lead attorney is a very successful lawyer in Atlanta, who's also becoming an up-and-coming rising star in the YouTube platform. He was in the process of putting her in her place to let her know that she was out of hand. Now the Pink Book Lessons kind of talks about and clarifies, gives a basis for how she'll understand this lady is trying to tell a lawyer about the law.
They're having a discussion about how Black men can find themselves in DV situations and there's nothing ever done about it. His original live stream was about how the baby called the police on Daniel Lee. She was allowed to ignore orders from officers. Totally out of order. We're going to go ahead and jump into this video, but before we do that, take a second to make sure that you are subscribed best to respond to all of you. Not going to waste any time here. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right, we got COJA.
Now he's reading. The lead attorney, like, what kind of fucking name is this? The lead attorney, like, this is COJA. Her name is Cojamalik, aka SC Johnson.
Cojamalik, is that how you say it?
Just COJA.
COJA, okay. How are you doing, COJA? We're kind of in the express around here. Thank you so much. What do you know in 3 minutes? What do you think about this situation with the baby?
I'm gonna stick to the law. First of all, I don't know what the state he was in, but you know, a lot of times once you stay a place a night or two or receive mail.
Wait a minute. She started off wrong. I'm gonna stick to the law, but I don't know what state he's in. So if you don't know what state he's in, how the hell you're gonna know what the law is in that state? See, this is the BS I'm talking about. You want to stick with the law, but you don't even know how are you going to use the law in a manner to state your position when you don't even know the law in that state. Okay. You are a resident and they have to evict you in court, not the police. The police can't do that. So his proper thing would have been to go. He actually should have just rented her a space for a month or put her up in the hotel and he wouldn't have that problem. He just wouldn't have to pay the bill.
Let me tell you.
Wait a minute. Now the book, pink booklet is like, what the fuck? Now I'm like this. You mean to tell me I'm having an argument with a woman and you think that I'm going to just put her in a hotel or another house for a month? Who the hell has money to do that? Most of us don't. And why should I reward you with a free place to stay after you damn near got me in trouble or we just had a conflict and we're not together? Who does this? There are married people that don't do this. They go home to their parents or another family member.
I don't know how TLA he's able to do this a lot of the times, but you have a woman on here talking about she's calling up and she's going to stick with the law. Doesn't matter that she has absolutely no experience in anything, and she's sitting up here talking to a man who graduated from law school, an experienced attorney, over 20 years in the game, to have decent, reasonable conversation, but it's definitely not to her.
He came to her, from what I understand, in the middle of the night. That's a bad look for him as a man and as the father to put her out in the middle of the night.
No, it is not. See, what she's doing is being sympathetic because she is female leaning, which is nothing wrong with you looking at things from a female perspective. But I have on multiple occasions had issues in which people unintelligently side with their sex without fact or without a proper position. She the type that a female on Snap, let's say the show Snap, the lady kills the man for no reason and then she'll blame the man for why she got upset to kill. This is the kind of BS that goes on in Black spaces. This is the kind of BS that goes on in Black YouTube. This is the kind of BS that goes on in the manosphere because they'll do the same thing just from a man's perspective. Let me continue.
Police did not have to do anything unless a crime was committed.
Then she's saying that he tried to put her out in the middle of the night. Once again, attempting to justify this woman's behavior who was being aggressive to the man. She's like, it's nothing for the police to do. Yes, it is. How about do what they would have done if it was her? When it comes to men and women, to 911. And
what?
Shit.
Streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software to make your
ordering a 2-piece and a biscuit from Popeyes. acting like he's interrupting her, recording her TikTok TV situations.
You, Tyrone, you stay the night at my house a couple of nights, and I tell the police I want you out. They're going to say, no, ma'am, you got to take him to court. The police can't do that. And he should have waited the next day, went to his attorney, and had his attorney resolve that.
I wish she'll stop lying.
This is a lie. There have been many situations in which the police have made people leave if one person, particularly the person who owns the house, wants a person to leave or is renting. I don't know what state she's in, but even in Texas, the only laws I know is if you're married and you're living in the same roof, the husband or the aggressor doesn't have to leave because of this being a community property state and the community property laws. I know that for a fact. I don't know other states, but I'm not going to sit here and just talk about something as if I know wholeheartedly that I'm telling the truth without a doubt. And this is something that has been indicative of Cojamalik's behavior, in which she likes to argue. And I haven't had any issues with her lately, but she loves to argue. But I thought it was highly comical to see her attempting to argue with the lead attorney. And I want you all to know, for those that don't know her, she will argue vigorously. She will be very disrespectful. She will loud talk you on your own platform. She will yell and scream and curse at you. I have been on at least 4 or more platforms in which I have had issues with her. Not lately, because we've been cool. She may not like me for doing this, but this is the truth.
1, it's not a couple of days. And 2, if a man was in her house, get him put out. It's men getting
to be there. He said you're going to put me in no 5-star hotel because you're going to pay the fee for one night and then I'm going to be SOL. I don't think she's even from that state. So he should be smarter. He should not have done that. And if he want her to come and stay for a month with him and hit it when he wanted to hit it, rent her a place for a month, a townhouse, a B&B or something like that.
Who the hell just rent her? Why would I rent somebody that was aggressive towards me? Why am I going to support? If she can't afford, if the child or their children involved, the children can stay with me. I am not about to, as a married man or a person that's dating somebody, I am not going to pay for you to live somewhere else comfortably. You wouldn't pay for me. You see, we have to look at things from an inverse perspective sometimes. Not just the outward looking in, but the inward looking out. Sometimes we expect people to do things for us that we wouldn't do for other people. She has this mindset that this man has to pay for her mistakes. She was aggressive. She was out of control. Why would I take it upon myself to help you after you were attempting to cause harm to me?
Well, he ain't got to say leave. He could just go to his next place. From my understanding, he also had another place. He said that was his penthouse. So he had somewhere where he could go. So be smart if you're going to do that. And if she the first baby mama to put him on child support, she going to be the one who get the biggest check. Because the two who just getting the handouts where he give them without it being official.
The lead attorney smiling. He's like, what the fuck is she talking about? How you know she's going to be the one to get the biggest check? You don't know that. There's a formula to that. It's based on his income. Basically, what it looks as, obviously the guy owns multiple properties, doing well for himself. But child support is not just relative to what the man makes. It's also factors of how much time he's going to spend with the children and how much the mother makes. The men who usually get hemmed up the most with this is men who make a lot of money with women who don't work or who are not professionals. Men who marry or date women who make high level income and they spend the most time, they're probably not going to spend that much in child support relative to the amount of time that they can spend with their children. Because in factoring in that, they factor in how much time. Do you have shared custody? Are you seeing the children every other week or weekends and holidays? And then it's a difference between you making $1 million and your wife making $100,000 versus you making $1 million and your wife makes $25,000 a year. Art doesn't work at all. That's a big difference. She doesn't speak of that. And I'm saying this knowing that I'm not an expert in this area, but she acts like she is. Let me continue.
Is not gonna get it because his net income is not reduced. So she better be the smart one and be the first one to put him on, while them other two back there getting the side dip between people. She better be the
lead attorney laughing.
first to put it on paper, because the first one get the most, not the oldest.
Do you know how many young women are out there listening to old 304s like this one? You better hurry up and put them on.
The old 304. This is hilarious.
On child support before somebody else put them on child support, besides running down to them folks to that courthouse. And one thing that they're not calculating is challenging these women for challenging these.
And talk about what the police should have done when that was a civil situation and not a place. It wasn't a criminal situation, so the police did not have a right to be involved. That is the courts is the place where it would be resolved.
I'm sorry, but did the law change? Last time I checked, putting pause on some.
Listen, hello, hey, hello, can you hear me? All right, you're talking about the law, but you're talking about the law to a 20-year attorney, right? So it would be good.
I say depending on the state. I'm not from Atlanta, so it may be different from your state because we know the statute.
It seems like you don't even want to listen.
And she doesn't want to listen. Let me let you all know this clearly. One thing that Cojamalik fails to do is when she is in a tirade or she thinks she is right, or when she's in the midst of an argument, she never admits she's wrong. It'd be a cold day in hell until she ever admit that she's wrong. Lead attorney said, "You're speaking to a 20-year attorney. You don't think you're telling me stuff I don't already know." I went through the same thing. I've been working CPS cases for damn near, I want to say 15 years. No, 16. Yeah, 15 years. I've been contracting with them personally for now 11 years. 11 years. And she acts like she's privy to all the information. If anybody that's not involved with that case is privy to all the information as it relates to a CPS case, that's a HIPAA violation, because you're not supposed to have access to all of that. You're not. You may get limited information that's given to the public. That's limited. But every integral part of that case is not going to be put out in public. Those are HIPAA violations. Those are privacy laws that are being broken. CPS is not going to report that, and nor will the police. They're going to give you excerpts, little bits of what they want the public to know, just to give people a summary of what has occurred. Some of the stuff that is seen as public records, such as the charges and some of the things that they claim allegedly. But she argued me down about CPS cases. And I've worked thousands of CPS cases. I'm going to say thousands at this point, at least 2,000 to 3,000 in the last 10 years.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're in Atlanta, but I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. Something occurred to the extent that 2 police officers came out. Once they were in the house, they had the right to conduct an investigation, and they had a right to order this woman to do certain things for their own safety. And when this woman ignored their lawful commands, they absolutely had a right to not only get physical with her, but to arrest her. Something that they would have done to a black man 100% of the time. So when you're saying, oh, no laws were broken, I can tell you're not an attorney.
He said, I can tell you're not an attorney. See, she didn't want to talk about the fact that the lady was unruly and not listening to the police, but she felt like no laws were broken. Well, if you don't follow police and you become unruly, then that could be charges. Misconduct. The guy said, I can tell you're not an attorney.
Like, I appreciate your opinion,
I was talking in regards to him, not the police. I was only speaking to if she had.
Now.
The best way to make money with Amazon in 2021 is not by selling physical products on Amazon like everyone thinks. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't work, but me and my twin brother Rasmus have found a way to
assaulted him or something of that nature, not in regards to the police. So that was the.
Now she wants to switch it up, I'm talking about him, not the police. No, you were talking about him, you were talking about the police, and you were talking about the lady. You were talking about everybody. Now that he put you in your place, now you want to change it up and switch it to something else. This shit is hilarious.
I thought you said that the police shouldn't have been involved.
I'm saying I'm saying if they went there and they investigated and no crime had been committed and they determined that, then
but she was being unruly. It doesn't matter. She was being unruly. She was not listening. When the police are in an area and they're interacting with you, you have to follow the orders of the police.
Was committing a crime.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I'm saying if they determined after they investigated that no crime had been committed, they could not have forced her to leave. Depending on the state statute, he would have had to take it to court. And that was the only context I was speaking in. I was not speaking in regards to them giving her a command.
Gotcha. Okay.
And by the way, they did end up charging Danny Lee. But word is that the baby, he's going to drop the charges.
Now we find out she was charged. She did all of that. Guess they're talking about the baby and his girl or whatever, whoever. She said all of that, found out she was charged anyway. Ridiculous.
So I don't expect anything to happen to her anyway. So yeah, got held accountable.
Don't be getting emotional.
No.
Don't be getting emotional.
Got held accountable.
Well, thank you so much, COJA. Really appreciate you coming up.
Thank you. Don't be getting all emotional. Don't be getting emotional.
No.
Now she loves to say this. She has told this to me. She's told this to a brother of mine named BMT, Black Male Talk, by the way. Whenever someone talks to her or they get, they start talking in a manner that's aggressive, all of a sudden you're getting emotional. We are human beings. Human beings are allowed to be emotional. Black women or women in general are not the only ones who are emotional creatures. Black men also are emotional. Men are also emotional creatures. We just show our emotions in different ways, and our emotions are triggered in different manner. So we are allowed to be emotional, and it's okay to be emotional, particularly with things that you're passionate about. And law is his passion.
That I will absolutely get emotional when the government. No. You listen. When the government is not giving Black men the protection that they need, I will absolutely get emotional.
Okay.
Like people get emotional for Black women all the time.
Baby. Okay.
Don't baby me.
Baby. Okay. No, it's the truth. And to me, I'm not one of these. Obviously, lead attorney is red pill per se. If he at least he says he is, I guess. But I understand where he's coming from. I understand the manner in which he's speaking. And I understand as he talks about the rights of Black men and our mistreatment. And we cannot have people in our own community losing sight of that. It baffles me, the apathy that Black men have for Black women in these sectors, and the apathy that Black women have for Black men. And our problems are the same. They're not different. We're just treated in a different manner. But let me continue. The lead attorney was like, listen, I get passionate, I get upset, because this is something that's been going on too long in regards to the treatment of Black men.
Don't fucking baby me. If I was up here being emotional about Black women, all of you Black women would be patting me on the back. Oh, the lead attorney. Right? But when you try to stand up for Black men, then it's don't get emotional. Fuck that.
The lead attorney said, fuck that.
Like, what's wrong with some of you people? Like, no one wants to stand up for Black men. If I am screaming trying to help black women, it's all you tell them, lead. Support black women. But if I'm up here screaming for black men, oh, you're too emotional. What's wrong with some of you? Like, you don't even see it. You don't even see it. It's like none of y'all see this.
They don't. They really don't.
You know what? I should just end this stream, man, because listen, I love y'all black women. Y'all are pissing me off. And I don't want to be this way. I know it's not all of y'all. I've seen some really great comments, but it's the people that come up here telling me not to get emotional when I'm trying to protect a black man. But if I was trying to protect a black woman, all of you women would be patting me on the back. And
this is crazy because what he's speaking of is a sickness that goes on YouTube. There are people right now who are doing this in platforms. There's several people that I know that have done this and got turned on. The black men turned on them. And there's men that done this to women. There's women who've done the same thing for men, and the men have turned on them. He's like, what's wrong with, to me, this is a black people's problem. This is not a black female or black male issue. No. This is an issue with our community.
If y'all see it. Right? I'm gonna just let y'all talk.
So that was it. It was, whew, wow. I want to say that it was crazy. That was the video itself. That was the video that sparked me to want to do this video. I have firsthand dealt with the lady that you're listening to. Firsthand. So I know what this brother is talking about. I know because I dealt with her and had similar issues. I dealt with this exact woman and had similar goddamn issues. Multiple times. Not only on mental health, but politics, all types of things. And I'm not going to even say she's not always right, because sometimes she is right. She spends a lot of time doing research. I don't understand why, but I don't have time to do that. I have other important things to do. I have other things to do in life that are more important than me looking up stuff to debunk people. I do. But when you're arguing with professionals like myself, I'm a professional therapist. I've been licensed for over 15 years. I've been working in this field for 22 years. I'm a well-seasoned therapist, and people will argue me down. People will argue me down, and they're just wrong, and they're wrong, and they're wrong, and they're wrong. And the lead attorney was like, damn, I'm just letting you speak, sister. Just let you be loud and wrong. But I do appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. I just wanted to have this conversation with you. This was Cojamalik, a.k.a. SC Johnson, the lead attorney, one of the hottest YouTubers going on in the sector. Clash with one another. And look how, and I don't act as professional as the lead attorney, at least on my D-Durrell Life Solutions channel, I act professional. But when I'm doing Rebirth, you cannot be overly professional, just straight up professional with some of these guys, because they would try to eat you alive. See, he couldn't do that if he was on a neutral platform. He probably would have lost it. But because he's on his own channel, he wants to uphold a certain image. And I understand, because I would have done the same. I appreciate everybody for supporting me on this channel today. If you have any questions on any topics you want me to do, anything, any reviews, you're more than happy. Just anything you want to talk to me about mental health or what have you, anything going on, you're more than happy to contact me on amburn1718@gmail.com. This is D. Durrell. Have a great day.